Ba bum 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 ba da ba bum ba bum bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum. Hello, how's it going? Anyone that was just listening to Richie's show and got this shout out? No, it isn't. It isn't Hayden. It's Graeme. Hiya, you all right? I did this last week and I really, really enjoyed it. We got loads of you on the chat. Loads of things to discuss, and it went really well, so I'm going to do it again because I bloody loved it. This is Trigger Warning TV, the real Sunday View. No, I'm only joking. I just listened to Richie Allen's show. Actually, I had it on my smart speaker. It's great. I can just shout at Google, "Play Richie Allen." Oh, I shouldn't say it because it might just start shouting him at me. Very good show. There was one thing I disagreed with, which I'll get to later on. Hello, Chappie. Thanks for joining us. Please let me know who's in there, because I don't actually have a feed of who's in the room. I've got the YouTube chat up, and I've got the triggerwarning.tv, to which there's an absolute butt ton of you in there. Hello. Hello, all the non-triggerists that's just spammed through into that. That's a lot busier than I'm used to it being. Say hello. If there's anything you want me to talk about, then let me know. Let's get started. Quick shout at the start of the show. This is triggerwarning.tv. Triggerwarning.tv. It's written right above my head there. If you want to get our latest podcast, it's right here. If you want to get the latest video, there's one of Hayden's highlights. How good are his little thumbnails that he's doing? They're great, aren't they? They're really, really good. So the idea behind that is, obviously, most of you watch the full hour show and you enjoy the chaos and the wonder of it all. But these are like little snaps for you to share, really. So if you're a fan of the show, rather than saying, "Hey, look at this hour," you know, the first 10 minutes of which is just abuse, personal abuse. This is something that if you do want to get the show out there, it's like little clips that we're going to start doing. We'll be doing them every week, so you can just share these little snaps of the show. So thanks a lot, Hayden, for doing the thumbnails and that. He's dead good at it, isn't he? If you do want to support us, you can go on our Patreon. If you don't like Patreon, just hit that donate button and you can PayPal us there, and there's links to all our articles and everything. Get yourself on trigger.tv, which of course has got our live chat room, which on... Oh, yeah, look! Hello, all you Anon people. You alright? There's a lot of Anons today. There's going to be a lot more soon because I've got an epic video coming out. Right, first up, Jordan Hunt. You may remember this guy, Cook Norris. Do you remember him? He did that flying kick against that pro-life girl and booted her to the floor. And you can hear in the video, I was supposed to kick your phone, which is still assault. I was supposed to kick your phone. He's in court at the moment. And I've been keeping an eye on this. I had the date set and a little alarm and everything, and I was like, oh, I'll just check out this morning what's going on with Jordan Hunt, and nothing about him at all. There's an old Daily Wire one here. There's a 5th of October there from the Washington Post. Where is it? The only thing I could find covering a man who kicked a woman in the chest in the street and allegedly pushed another one in a separate video into live traffic. The only thing I could find was InfoWars. How fucked up is that? That's the world we're living in right now. Dude had been wearing a MAGA hat. This shit'd still be running. It'd still be running. His life would be over. It is. I mean, it is over. People aren't going to leave him alone. But bless little Jordan Hunt. Cook Norris. I've not really got an update on this. There have been a few things that have leaked, but you're not actually allowed to discuss anything that's going on in court right now, so I'm not going to talk about any of the things that leaked. But if you want, check out The Rebel. They did a really, really good video of it. And right, okay, so The Rebel video is interesting, but the most interesting thing to me is the fact that this dude walked out of court and the only person there was that rather awkward dude from The Rebel. Whereas, you know, if you teach your dog to do Sea Kyle, it's a fucking frenzy, isn't it? An absolute frenzy. Like a crowd of journalists so thick you can't actually see through it. It's quite interesting, the world we live in, isn't it, eh? And it's things like this that are the reason why people sort of seem to think that the left aren't on some sort of huge hunt right now. The far left, I should add, the 10%, to just shut down free speech. Of course they fucking are. Of course they are. In fact, I've got a couple of stories for you today on exactly that. Let's see who we've got. Oh, hiya, Aidan. You all right, mate? How you doing? Isn't it weird how many anons there are in the chat there? We don't usually have that many anons. Oh, we got loads. Hello, Pedro. Called it The Real Show. Yeah, The Real Show. The Real Sunday View is happening now. Recommended by Richie, so giving you a try, chap. Hello, Patrick. Thanks so much for joining us. This isn't quite the same as what Richie does. We're a little bit more chilled, and I have a slightly different angle to Richie, and it's weird because we both come from broadcasting. I've not been anywhere near as successful as him, but that's kind of how I look at it. So I look at stories like this, and I'm thinking, well, where's the other crew and stuff? I don't know. Not that I'm saying he doesn't do that. His analysis is very, very, very good. I think we just take the piss a bit more. It's probably why we've not got as many subscribers. Come on, Pickle! Stop pulling it for a minute and hit the button. What? I'm on. I'm here. Patrick said, "Why are you so small?" I'm so small because we're looking at the news. You want me to be a little bit bigger? Would that make you happy? We can get rid of my thing if you want. There you go. Is that better? Yeah. Does that make you happy? There you go, mate. I'm a little bit bigger for you now. Chappie said the far left has no logic. Yeah, I saw a really interesting thing about this the other day. I think it was Dan Killer, actually. He pointed out quite rightly that 90% of people on the right and 90% of people on the left are fine. It's just that 10% on either side, isn't they? And, you know, it's obviously that's not a scientific... accurate thing to say, but I thought as a term, you know, the 10%ers was quite good, because rather than just saying, you know, because I'm on the left, I'm very much sort of on the libertarian side of it. I'm not looking for sort of communist states or anything like that, but yeah, it's hard, isn't it, saying the left? It's just as bad as when people say far right for everyone on the right. I know Richie was just talking about Sargon of Akkad he's been labelled far right, even though he's actually bringing UKIP to the centre just by being involved with them. But we're going to get onto Sargon in a little bit. Spotless Lizard says, "I'm not a non. This is my real name. I'm a real leopard." Yeah, we have another thing. If you go on triggerwarning.tv, we have our own chat room there, and it's foreign servers, so you can say whatever the hell you want. If you say anything racist or, you know, overtly ridiculous, I'm not going to read it out. I'm not going to care. But yeah, the idea is that there's actual free speech there, so say what you want. If you want to say a man can never be a woman, then you can say that and you won't get blocked forever. Or if you want to say she was always a woman, then you can say that also without being blocked forever and ever and ever. Go for it. Just the YouTube chat can be a little bit tight. So when I say a non-triggerist, I'm talking about Trigger Warning TV /live, which is hammered right now, but everyone's really quiet and just creepily sitting there. Right, oh, hiya, Bob. Hey, Bob, I've not seen you for ages. Right, I'm going to move on from that anyway, because I just wanted to point out the fact that Jordan hasn't been in the news, but let's all keep an eye on Jordan Hunt, eh? His next court appearance is April 24th. I've got a reminder set for it 10 days from now. I hope they fuck you, because political violence is unacceptable in all circumstances. Unless you are directly defending yourself, it is unacceptable. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care what you stand for. I don't care if you're a fucking Nazi. If you're a Nazi standing there minding your own business, then you don't deserve to be attacked. Full fucking stop. Full stop. Because if you hit a Nazi, the only thing you do is create more Nazis. That's all you do. These fucking idiots, they don't think past their own thing. They're so self-absorbed and so idiotic that they actually think that punching a Nazi is a win. They actually think, because they can't consider the fact that, you know, this isn't a video game. They don't just despawn. You've not defeated the boss. You've created more Nazis, you fucking idiot. You've made the problem worse. Absolute fucking tools. I hate this shit. So yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Cook Norris. Fuck you. I hope you go to hell. Anyway, the Brexit party's launched. And I've started with this one properly because... I was wrong. I was wrong. I was predicting UKIP. Obviously, UKIP are going to rinse, and they are. They are. I'm going to get to that in a sec, but I did not plan on Nigel Farage's epic ego taking over to the point where he's actually started his own party. And they're doing all right. They're doing okay. The man's got a lot of personality. Whatever you want to say about him, if you hate him, I completely understand that. But he does have charisma. He does have supporters, and he does have personality. You can't get away from that. You know, that's not supporting him. That's not saying he's a good, you know, whatever. But he does. End of story. And he's launched the Brexit Party. And ultimately, let's be honest, it's the perfect time. A lot of people are very angry after 29th passed. A lot of people are angry after April 12th passed, even though nobody actually thought we were leaving on Friday at any point, did we? This is an interesting one. It's thrown most of my predictions out of balance. Although I would say, if we go and look at the candidates, we've got a picture here that doesn't load, taking up the whole screen. Bless him. There he is. Farage, the leader. We've got Richard Tice. Let's count. How many have they got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people standing so far. So let's be honest. People are making a big fuss about this and all the rest of it, but they're not going to take a huge dent out of the hundreds and hundreds of people that UKIP have got ready to stand as MEPs and to stand as local councillors. I suspect, for all the public shenanigans and the public sort of demonisation of it all, I suspect that UKIP and the Brexit Party are probably privately having a word with each other. And with the whoa! Jacob Rees-Mogg's sister's joined him. That's fucking awesome, dude. She's pretty sexy, isn't she? I'm not. You know, I'm not being weird, but she's pretty hot. I'd vote for her just based on the fact that I want to see her face kicking around more. Oh yeah, Annunziata. That's an interesting one. Jacob's another one of them where, you know, you might not agree with his politics. There's a good chance you don't, but you can't deny that he's known and he's got charisma and he's got thing. And the fact that his sister's jumped on, oh my God. She's instantly going to be getting crazy amounts of press. I have seen her speak before now, actually, and she's a very good public speaker. This is an interesting development. I kind of hope she loses, actually, or in the long term. Not hope. Hope's the wrong word. I suspect it's good that this is dissolved as soon as possible, because I think on the back of this, she would probably win a seat in Parliament, wouldn't she? Oh, this is an interesting development. This makes me very, very happy. I'm happy to be wrong. I'm glad to be wrong. Happy Dog has said, a Rees-Mogg I can fap over without it causing me to asking too many deep questions about my sexuality. Mate, I could too. She's got a posh accent as well, isn't she? That does you. But she's, yeah, I've heard her speak. She's a journalist, obviously. She's a writer. Fuck me, this is getting interesting. They should have left on the 29th. Patrick said, for my sins, I've joined Brexit's party, especially as they want to change the political system. Yeah, fair enough, man. Good for you. There's no judgment here. I'm not left, right. You know, you can be a bloody communist. I don't care. I'm not judging or bothering or anything like that. Good for you. Stand by your things. I know when I was a support worker, I had one of my clients. I used to look after homeless people, and I used to run houses, so I'd have a little office that I'd go into. It was shit. It was just a really old computer with a couple of files behind a safe, and basically I'd do their housing for them and, you know, see them and get them in somewhere as quick as possible. I remember one guy coming in, and I got no details, obviously, because you respect his privacy, but he asked me if it was okay to put a UKIP thing in his window, and I was like, oh my God, do I actually give you the impression that I'd have an issue with that? That you know, because I was in a position of relative power, I could have evicted him there and then. How dare you? Whatever, you know. Because of the safeguarding of the place. If I didn't feel safe, someone's gone. On my word, it was a lot of responsibility, you know. I didn't fuck about with it. So there was this thing where he genuinely thought he might get evicted because he supported UKIP, and I was kind of, it was kind of a shocking moment for him. I mean, I had long hair and stuff. He probably just assumed I was hippie, and I think I voted Labour that time around, so maybe that's how he got it. But I mean, UKIP were a lot more centrist then, anyway, a lot more. So I don't know. But anyway, yeah, of course he put the fucking poster up, and I worked my ass off to getting moved on and getting close to his kids and all that, and he's very, very happy and all the rest. Thanks, Happy Dog, for tweeting abuse at me. A non-triggerist has just said nope. So I don't know what that means, mate, but I don't know what you were replying to. Let me know what you were replying to, guys. If you're in the chat and you want me to talk about anything particular, let me know and we'll go into it. So yeah, the Brexit Party. Let's have a look at the polls for this right now then. Boris Johnson is currently the highest. Oh my god, what is going on? What is going on? We're gonna have Boris as a PM, aren't we? Guaranteed. Fucking John Major is still coming in. I was a little boy when he was in charge. Oh my god. Labour, Jeremy's still in top place. I love that Ed Balls is there. Wait, whoa, guys. Ed Balls is actually... he's right up there. Oh my god. I do love him though. He's got very beautiful eyes. Did you go crazy on Twitter? No? What? You're going to have to explain what you mean. I don't know what you mean. What's been said? I'm not sure, mate. I'm sorry, Boss Hum. I'm sorry. Oh, hiya, Natalie. You all right? Thanks for joining us. Right, sod that. Let's look at the proper YouGov polls. So right now, EU voting intention, and this is from yesterday. So I'm only looking at the EU Parliament, because obviously Labour and Conservatives get higher for a general election. There's a lot of talk of general election at the moment, but I don't honestly think it's going to happen. I really don't. But look at this. Labour, 24%. They're currently ahead. 24%. That's fucking pathetic. Conservatives are on 16. This is insane. The Brexit Party are on 15%. You see, that's another one there. If they've only got 6 candidates right now, that 15% isn't going to translate to much. But, you know, here we go. I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, Nigel's going to get in. I think Miss Mogg certainly will. I'll vote for her. I hope she's running in Manchester. Put a little tick on it, then go home for a hate wank. I'm a dirty boy. Oh, I did the bad thing. UKIP 14% though. This is very, very interesting. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, European elections work on proportional representation, and UKIP doing well, which they are 100% going to do well, means that they are going to send a hell of a lot of people over there, which means they are going to go from, in a 2-year period, they're going to go from being broke, completely bankrupt, to being a moderately successful and a financially lucent political party, which is an interesting development, isn't it? Oh, I don't know what Aidan said on trigger warning. I'm so sorry, I've not got it up right now. I've not got the trigger warning thing because the you know what, it'd take me too long to explain. I'm not going to go into it. George Galloway has pulled out of the Northwest. You know what, good, I'm fucking sick of him. I'm fucking sick of him. And not for his politics. I actually quite like the fact that even though he talks shit half the time, I like the fact that he speaks his mind. I like the fact that he's a bit of sophist about it, but I like the fact that he's got his positions. I might not agree with him, but I respect him, if that makes sense. But it's him driving past my house every 2 minutes in his little battle wagon, declaring shit like this is Venezuela or something. I'm like, oh, fuck off. You're never going to win round here anyway. Happy Dog said Brexit will drag on till the next general election, by which time the British public will be so disillusioned they will welcome the yoke of EU federalism. And Patrick has pointed out that 15 plus 14% equals 29. You're right, in terms of the Brexit Party and UKIP, people supporting the Brexit Party as high as they are doing across 6 candidates, that translates into a lot of support for UKIP. It does. It really does. And, you know, people might not like Tommy Robinson, people might not like Marcus Meacham and all that, but they will like the nice fella that knocked on the door, who's from round the corner, who we grew up with, who just wants to get out of Europe, who just wants to see his area do well and bring jobs back, raise wages, all the other things that they say. It's not going to be Tommy Robinson knocking on the door, is it? It's going to be other people you know. And here's the thing, you know, some people might think that so-and-so from the Labour. Some people might hate Jeremy Corbyn, but they're still going to vote Labour, and it goes the same way. I don't know. We'll have to see. Terexit May. Fucking May can't go quick enough. Guys, question of the day. When do you think the next general election is going to happen? Let me know, because I really don't. I think a lot of people are getting quite excited about it. I've been focusing on the EU elections because I think they will happen. I don't think the general election is going to happen. A non-triggerist 12108 has said men's lives matter. It's never going to work, is it? It's never going to go away. Basically, for those of you that don't know about this men's lives matter thing, somebody blocked me on Twitter recently, and they put out a defamatory statement about me, calling me a men's rights activist. Which I wouldn't mind just if someone said, oh, you shut up, you men's rights activist. But they said I've been radicalised into a cult. They tried to associate me with doxing, which is beyond disgusting if you know me and what I'm about. I've got access to ridiculous amounts of personal information, and none of it has ever leaked. None of it's ever gone anywhere. I've worked with the police, courts, governments. To associate me with doxing is insanity, absolute insanity. So calling me a men's rights activist that's going to dox you because you lie, because she's a liar. She's lying about shit. It was just ridiculous. I did do a video. I've not put it out yet because I'm still negotiating with my family. Because there could be some fallout. But yeah, there will be a video up very soon. Very, very soon. Fucking... Because I don't give a shit. All you say dumb stuff all the time, and I don't care. But to associate me with doxing... To try and imply that I would even dream of putting someone in that kind of danger when I've gone on record for hours and hours and hours talking about the dangers of doxing, talking about, like, that fella that just got killed in America and someone got 20 years for it. The amount that I have gone on record about it, to then put me and my family at risk, to associate me with doxing, that's why I'm not letting it go. I'm going to keep pushing this. And you know what? Until she deletes the tweet and puts an apology up, I'll probably put a video out every fucking week about her, because she lies so much. I'll have plenty of material. Happy Dog has said getting arrested outside of school is not working with the police. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. I've got... I actually, oh dear, no, I shouldn't tell. I used to work with people who were on the list, the lists, and I did used to work with the sexual crimes unit. I had a very good relationship with him, and it was partly to. I didn't make any decisions. Obviously, that's not on me. But because I did residential support, if they were considering taking someone off the list, they would often ask me my opinion about their behaviour. So it's like if they're already making that decision. So I was like someone that they double check with to see if what they were thinking was accurate, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Or to see that it was reflected around, which is again why this associate me with doxing is so disgusting, because it could genuinely impact my future work. It is absolutely disgusting. You're putting my family at risk. You're an arsehole. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I will lose my temper. Right, Richie covered this. Sargon. And he's standing as an MEP in South West England for UKIP. So he's going to be standing in the European elections. They got 32% of the vote last time. It's proportional representation. And people weren't nearly as angry now. So him standing alone is probably a good sign that he's getting in, for sure. He's 100% getting in. And in fact, he's stated already on his YouTube that his intention is to go there, and as with every other UKIP MEP, he's going to vote against anything that strengthens their powers, and he'll only vote for amendments that take powers back to both our and other countries, restoring their sovereignty, as is said. He is going to get in. Of course he is. Of course he is. And it's quite interesting. You're right. You are right about his 2016 tweet where they said he said, "I wouldn't even rape you," to Jess Phillips. That was a stupid thing. Big mistake. He shouldn't have said it. He was trying to piss people off, and it worked. And to be honest, it helped him go viral and got him 1,000 more things. But I I agree with Richie. I agree with what Richie Allen was just saying in the sense that, like, you know, he should have a right to speak. He shouldn't have his life ruined over it. I agree with you. He shouldn't. Of course he shouldn't. The same with Tommy Robinson. You might not agree with what they've got to say, but they should have their right to say it. Of course they should. But for me, this I wouldn't even rape you thing, I don't think this is going to hurt him. For the last year at least, he's obviously been working towards standing for Parliament, you know, MEP. And his videos have matured incredibly. It's been very, very decent political analysis, strong stuff, well-informed stuff. You know, he's reading hard around the subject. You know, someone will say to him, have you read the Quran? He has read the Quran. Someone, have you read, you know, he'll be criticising Marxism, but he has read it. He actually has read it. So I think that even though I wouldn't even rape you, which is hilarious because he's saying I wouldn't rape you, it's quite a clever thing, really. Because your initial thing is disgust. But I think you're wrong, Richie. I think you're wrong about how relevant this is. Donald Trump said you can grab him by the pussy, and look what happened there. People are wearing it on his supporters wear that on a t-shirt. And I think very much is the same for Sargon, to be honest. People are going to wear it like a badge. In the exact same, and he's a vocal Trump supporter. It's exactly what he's going for. Let's check the chat anyway. Fuck off. Agree, chappy. Fuck politicians. They serve a small group of gangsters with cash and dehumanizing agendas. Guys, that sun's coming in a bit strong now, isn't it? So let me just. I've got some lights on for if that happened. Let's see how we look now. That's not too bad, is it? It's probably better for you, to be honest. I just like the sunlight. Sorry. I sit in the dark all day reading the news. I just wanted a bit of sun. Yeah, the politicians do serve a small group of gangsters. But I'll bring this back to Sargon of Akkad, actually. In his announcement video, he pointed out the fact that he has never had donations. He's never had sponsors for his channel. He has been entirely self-funded. And I suspect that for all, you know, for every person that's annoyed at the rape tweet, there's going to be another 10 people that are then going to be watching his videos and saying, no, this guy's great. Hayden said that YouTube is sending out bad info with the video embed. Something is amiss. I'm so sorry about that. And I'm getting a chat rate of 0, which is weird because you're all. I can see your chats right now. Playback error occurred. I don't know. I'm so sorry, guys. Just come on YouTube rather than trigger warning /live. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. It's telling me I'm offline. What? What? That can't be right. I've got viewers, and you're all there. Don't know what's going on. Could someone check out our main channel and just let me? In fact, I can just bloody do it myself right now, can't we? YouTube. Oh God, I fucked that up, didn't I? Right, so we're not signed in. Trigger warning. TV. It's live now. We're there. Apparently. Oh! Should have had that muted. Didn't. I don't know what's going on. So sorry about that, guys. If you are on our website, I don't know what's happening. Please come over to our YouTube. Or if you see people moaning about it, Boss Hum says they're on to you, man. Do you know what, actually? I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to give trolls and weirdos any fuel. But me and Hayden's saying it seems the stream was scheduled or something. Did you start one then quit? No, I've only hit once. So I'm not sure what's happening. This is definitely it's definitely the same one. Yeah, 100%. I don't know what's happened, man. We're having problems, aren't we? We had the same thing happen on Thursday, like Chappie said. Weird things going on, and there's been weird things going on with mine and Hayden's Twitter at the moment. Again, I'm not going to say what it is specifically, but there's just a little bit of a thing there. It's something that I've not seen written about publicly, but I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to get anyone onto it. I'm not sure what's going on. Guys, if you could, if you are watching live, please share links to the video itself and let people know. I'm really sorry about that. Don't know what's going on. Oh, that makes me sad. Hey, these things happen though, don't we? These things happen. Oh, a non-triggerist can still watch it for some reason, so I don't know what's going on. Some people are having problems. Guys, I don't know. I'm going to have to move on. I'm sorry about that. Again, I remind any new people, if there's anything you want me to talk about, please say so in the chat. Anything at all. Nothing is off limits. Apart from the smears about me being a men's rights activist. I've talked enough about that. I'm going to put out a separate video about that. A little bit more concise one. I want to talk about this anyway, because this isn't going away, is it, eh? I've brought the sun up specifically because Shamima Begum, we didn't know what was going to happen with this, did we? The baby died, which from some people's point of view was a bit of a blessing, wasn't it? In the sense that they don't now have to deal with it. But yeah, it's been leaked now that she stitched explosive vests onto suicide bombers during her time in Syria. And this feels to me like one of those, isn't it, where someone sat down, they've made the decision, she's not coming back. She's not fucking British anymore, and she's not fucking coming back. I'm not having that. Like, because they don't want the footage, do they? They don't want her getting off the plane, coming out of the airport. They don't want her on, you know, this morning and all that. They don't want that. They want to be, no, standing up for Britain, blah, 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 blah. So here it is. Here's the narrative, eh? She used the lady skills, which she very well done. I think whether she did or didn't do suicide vests is kind of irrelevant. You know, we're at the point now where the truth of the matter with this, it's not going to matter to most people, and it's certainly not going to matter to the narrative. Fake or not, this will just go the way where they'll say, well, they couldn't prove it. You know? They don't, we all know she did. We all know she did. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot to be said about this shit, but it's like, she's a fucking terrorist, isn't she? Ultimately, whether she did or didn't, she's a terrorist. I think the fact that it's a girl and she was so young, I don't see 16-year-old followers of Tommy Robinson getting the same, like, oh, well, they've been radicalised, we need to help them treatment, do they, eh? They're just painted as absolute scum and all that, and it's interesting, isn't it? The bigotry of low expectations. Because she's dark-skinned and a girl, suddenly it's like, well, she's a victim, isn't she? Automatically. And don't get me wrong, I think there are elements of her being a victim. I agree with that. I actually do agree. But where do we draw the line? Do you know what I mean? When I was 16, I'm not going to say what it is on here, but you know, I did stupid things that probably weren't legal, and I made mistakes, but I didn't cross several international borders and join a terrorist organisation. You know, where there was people's heads in bins and stuff. There's making mistakes when you were a kid, and then there's really fucking going out there, and you've got to think like, I don't know. She was quite candid about the fact that she's only wanting to come back because it went wrong out there. It's not like she was pining to come home. And straight away in a thing, she was lying as well. She said she's had no contact with her family, and at the exact same time, a family was saying they begged her to come home. She's a fucking liar. She's a, you know, like how long do we make excuses for your childhood and start treating you as an adult that has to live with the consequences of your actions? I don't know. But either way, she's fucked. She's fucked. The narrative's there, man. This is out there now. It's in the Mail, it's in the Sun, it's fucking everywhere. She is boned. If she does somehow get back, she's going to be chucked in a box, never to be seen again. Boss Summers said she was only 15. Who paid for flight tickets? I'm not sure who paid for her tickets, but she robbed her sister's passport, didn't she? That's how she got away. But I mean, she was. Yeah, but you've got to ask. There's loads of stuff in terms of, you know, who was around her, where was she going, where was she being radicalised? It got quite quickly said, didn't she? She was radicalised online, and I'm like, yeah, but nobody around her then. Nobody she talked to? I don't know. I don't know. Chappie says she made her choice. She did. She did. She really did. I mean, I agree. She will have been radicalised. I do. But there's been radicalised, and then there's seen a load of heads in a bin. There's the fact that the other girl she went out with had a torture chamber in the basement, and she, you know, there's getting involved in something and not fully understanding the scope of it. You know, like if someone might turn up at an anti-war march. I did it once. I went to protest the Iraq War. You know, the big one. I didn't realise, but I was in with fucking Antifa. The van I was in, as it got there, everyone put the masks on, and I'm just sat there like, I'm here to try and stop violence. It was fucking insane. And the idiots, the meet-up point was the American Embassy. I'd never been to London before. I'm going around asking, I'm like 15, asking policemen, like, do you know where the American Embassy is? And they're like, why? My fucking truck, it was a happy minivan when we left Manchester. Everyone's like, yeah. So not that I thought we were going to stop the war. My reason for being there was to create. I mean, if people actually think these things are going to, protests and stuff are going to stop or change anything, you fucking fools. You absolute fucking fools. I was there, even at that young age. I wasn't so stupid as to think that. I was just increasing the media attention on the Iraq War in the hope that it would reduce the scale, reduce the time we were there. That's all I was, that's what I was there for personally. But yeah, so I turned up. What if I was on like a terrorist watch list now because I've associated with Antifa? You know, you make mistakes, don't you? But if I had then met up with those lads every week, and I'm helping make fucking bombs with them, and I'm doing all this stuff, then there's the childish mistake, and then there's the long-term consequences. You don't keep doing it. You don't stay out there for years with heads in fucking bins. I don't know, man. She's got to take some responsibility for it. Her other two mates died. The whole place got bombed. That's the only reason she's doing any of this. Chappie has said, I've seen these delays before, especially with channels who speak out truth or logic. Yeah, it's already happening, but thankfully, my bud Aiden, he's got mates at that live leak. So, worst comes to worst. We'll jump over there, won't we, eh? Happy Dog has said Four Lions was based on Graeme's early political activism. I really, really enjoyed Four Lions. If you've not seen it, watch it. It was ahead of its time. It really, really was. Four Lions. I might have to watch that soon. But yeah, Shamima, she's fucked. Oh, I really wanted to talk about that. That's why I've put it so early in the tabs. I just love this. So, Literal Communist was on Politics Live. Fucking Ash. So they put a literal communist on with a literal historian, which to me feels a bit insulting. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're putting someone who's way more educated, way more competent, and someone who actually understands history. Because no one who actually understands history could be a literal communist. They should have got rid of him and put a literal Nazi there. A literal Nazi. And just had a silly little corner with the two of them debating over the best ways to create fucking genocide. That would have made more sense. This isn't balanced. This has got fuck all to do with balance. Look at the state of it. But yeah, he's been criticised for saying that her film is boring. I don't know if any of you watched this, right? I'm not going to put it on. But not only did they have a literal communist on, and they had a chummy little chat about communism, they let her do a little film about it. They paid for her to go to fucking Italy or something. I can't remember where it was now. They paid for her to go and do a little film. And they just, you know, to talk to fucking Franco Berardi, who's an alright guy. You can listen to him or whatever. But this is insane that the BBC is making... Wait, why are they not giving money to Tommy Robinson then? Eh? Where's his cute little video? If you're enabling extremists, then where's his fucking cute little video? Why are you getting Gerard Batten on to ask... Why do they always get Gerard Batten on to then ask him about... Why don't you get Tommy Robinson on? Live. Get him on live like you did her. Let him do a cute little package. Sit his ass next to David Starkey, and then let him get rinsed. That's what needs to happen with Tommy Robinson, but nobody's got the fucking balls to do it. They're just going to do these bullshit, snide panorama things where they're getting him. I saw one good interview with Tommy Robinson outside of ours, obviously, where he was going on about all his points, some of which are very fair. You know, the rape gangs and stuff. It was hidden. It was covered up. That is an issue. Has been an issue and is an issue still, but. The interviewer said, well, what happens next? What do you want to do? And he didn't really have much to say. And I thought, that's all you need to do, mate. Because he's saying all this stuff about rape gangs, and nobody's listening, or they're hiding it, or they're just smearing him. But people need to just say, yes, it's been happening slowly, but not to his face. Honestly, get it all out in the wash. Get it all talked about. And you wouldn't have all this extremism. You wouldn't have thousands upon thousands of followers. Because he's just telling the truth. Absolute fucking idiots, these people. But yeah, I brought this up because are just amazing, aren't they? Running cover for him. He sparks row on the BBC. He completely humiliated her. It was glorious to watch. I would advise catching up with this. I wouldn't usually advise. This show is awful generally. It's only good when it sort of goes wrong. It's probably why, you know, get the likes of Ash on, Owen Jones' little buddy. Fucking, I love this as well. I love this shit. Journalist. She is not a journalist. She is a propagandist. She is an activist. You can't call her a fecking journalist. You need integrity to be a journalist. Absolute joke. Right! We're running out of time! Bollocks! I really like talking about this. Before we move on to Donald Trump, actually, let's have a look at this. Stark's thug life moment was epic. Oh, you've seen it? Yeah. He's honest. Takes balls nowadays. Do you know what? It does take a lot of balls, to be honest, and it's hard. I struggle with it. Like, not necessarily lying. I'm sure you know what I mean. It's the not standing up and just speaking the truth can be hard sometimes. It can be really, really hard. It's nice to hide behind this little camera here, pretend it doesn't have consequences, or block me on Twitter and subtweet it behind my back and start phoning people behind my back. I'm going to fuck you for that. I'm going to rinse you for that. Not physically, obviously, but I'm going to make a video about you every single fucking week until you bring that shit down and apologise. Noble effort, Graeme, on Iraq war protests, but PNAC agenda was never going to be stopped. No, it wasn't. I knew it wasn't going to be stopped. It actually ended up being way worse than, you know, teenage Graeme could have possibly imagined. Now all the truth of it's now the truth of how the war for oil really, really was. I'm not even going to read that. She stands up for Islam while supporting cans of Red Stripe. Dude, you're freaking me out. I've got an unopened Red Stripe right there. That proper freaked me out then. The both of you. It's just sat there. And I was looking at it and I looked over and you both mentioned, can you see it in my eyes reflected? I got them the other day. I had 1.5 and I fell asleep on the couch and poured it all over myself. And I've got a little socket down there. I'm such a smart ass. So I've got a little socket that goes under the couch, and I can slip it out and plug my phone in like that, right? And my Red Stripe, because I'm such a lightweight nowadays, my Red Stripe that I just fell asleep like that, but it just dripped onto the socket, fizzed everything, tripped out the whole house, which I blamed on my daughter until we discovered the truth. And the PlayStation was on, and our Sophie's playing Final Fantasy 15 at the moment, and it was on, and the hard drive was running everything. It's destroyed her save. She's put hundreds of hours into it. She was right near the end. And it's been corrupted, because tired Grandad Graeme just went, She's a saint. She's a saint, that woman. Honestly. Patrick, media is a farce. Sfano joined us. Hello, mate. You all right? Thanks for joining us. Sorry if anyone's there and you've said hi and I've not said hello or anything. I'm so sorry. Hello, good morning. It's Sunday. Please let me know. I might do this every Sunday at noon and I'll talk about whatever you want. Anything that you want. So just feed me a story, feed me a subject, and I'll go into it. If I don't know about it, I'll be honest. I won't blag it. I'll just be like, I don't know anything about that. Thanks, Patrick, as well. You've just followed me on the Twitter, and I'll just drop a retweet because Hayden has done. Yeah, Hayden, I can't get on Trigger Warnings Twitter right now because it's on Mozilla and I'm broadcasting Mozilla via OBS. So and that's where I'm logged into Trigger Warning. So I'll fix that for future broadcasts. Fano Boss, is Graeme naked from the waist down? Wait, let's double check him. Yep. I am now. That's so refreshing. That feels amazing. Oh, that's me from here on in. Bloody hell. Oh, hi, Mr. Kill C1. Thanks for joining us. Hayden Hewitt wants me to talk about how I laugh at Deceive but Deceive. So, I was going to film something for our Patreon this morning, but our daughter came in crying, saying, she comes in crying, saying, Daddy, I can't control my emotions. And I'm like, how can I help with that? Well, you know, but I've been saying to her a lot recently about the importance of controlling her emotions. So, yeah, she interrupted me, so I'm going to try and get it on after. I'm going to try and get it done after I finish this video. But as I'm sat here, because I'm by the window, obviously, I see some guy doing the walk of shame. And he's limping, and it's Sunday morning, so I'm like, shit, this is the most epic walk of shame I have ever seen, and I'm having a little giggle, you know, like, he didn't see me, you know, I'm not like that. If someone sees me laughing, I'm not going to be like, ha, I want you to know, because that's horrible. I always tell our Soph off for that, but yeah, so I was laughing behind his back, which is much better, obviously, isn't it, hey, fucking coward. It wasn't until he got about there that I realised it probably wasn't a walk of shame. I think he was physically disabled. And I felt bad because you know, if God was only paying half attention, he only had one eye on me. He's looking down and seeing Graeme just at his window going, ha 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 ha. I didn't see his face, so he could have been like fully fucking. I felt bad about that. I'm not religious, by the way. I only believe in the God of kitchens from my years working as a chef. Fuck you, God of kitchens. Fuck you. So there you go, Aiden. Yes, I was laughing at a disabled person this morning. Are you happy? King BB for the win. I don't know what that means. Explain what King BB means. Patrick has said that war for oil is only part of it. Greater Israel and other nefarious objectives are more worrying, don't you think? I mean, I think some people seem to think that Israel just wants to take over the entire Middle East. I really don't think so. But I don't know. In terms of the Iraq war, no, I think it was oil. I think you're saying only part of it. I think it was a big part of it. Of course, there may have been other things at play, but no. I thought Graeme was an anti-Semite, racist. Laughter of the disabled. Oh, here we go. Absolutely, but it's beyond oil. It could be beyond oil. I don't know. But my feeling is I don't think it's that far beyond oil. Oh, King Netanyahu. Right. Oh, yes, of course. He's back in, isn't he? We're going to have King Netanyahu, Boris, Prime Minister Boris. Trump will be there till 2024. And I hope you don't think Trump's going anywhere once he's not president anymore. He's going to start his own TV station. He's going to be like Alex Jones on crack, mate. He's going to be sat there broadcasting every single day. I really am naked from the pants down now. I've just opened my beer because we're near at the end now. They're wiping out the Middle East with Team America. There is that, man. But you know what? I don't want to get into the they're also the only democracy in the Middle East. The only place where there's equal rights in terms of workplace, in terms of women and all that. So, yeah, I know they're not perfect, but there's other sides to it, isn't there? You know, we're not fucking perfect. We do disgusting things on a regular basis. It's complicated, isn't it? It's complicated. That's why I don't want to get into it too much on the last 10 minutes of it. Maybe we'll do an Israel one. To be honest, I want to talk to Richie about that. I want to say it's one of the things. I've got 3 topics I want to sit down and have a chat with him with, which we have been discussing. Do the little round table, you know. See how it goes. We've had a tweet, and no, it's about video games. Not interested. No, well, about getting to London as well for cheap, which you're not getting to London for less than that. What do you think would happen if the US pulled out of all the Middle East, including stop making payments to terrorists, with the exception of Israel? I think less involvement from America would lead to less. Well, what do you mean by pull out? You know, you're talking about not selling weapons to the Middle East anymore. Because if the Middle East didn't have weapons to keep blowing the shit out of each other, then, you know, if America and the UK, because we're fucking big in the weapons game, love, if we stop selling them guns, we stop pouring money in, yeah, the foreign intervention is ridiculous. I think at its core, I don't think the current Israeli government, but I think at its core, the Israeli people would rather just fucking get on with their lives and live in peace. I think the majority would. The Palestinians who live in Israel have the best quality of life there than anyone else. Yeah, isn't it like 19-20% or whatever? But yeah, no weapons, no nothing. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing, man. Everyone in the Middle East was destroying each other before America even existed. This isn't some, you know, there's a certain sort of, in the West we kind of have this arrogance as well, don't we? That, you know, well, you know, well, if we didn't come over with our superior knowledge and superior weapons and all that, and, you know, involve ourselves with the noble savages, then everyone. But it's no, they've been blowing the shit out of each other for thousands of years, literally thousands of years, just fucking destruction. It's like with the Crusades, man. The Crusades wasn't a load of people sat in London going, you know what, should we go fuck up some brown people? No, that was the result. I mean, obviously it was brutal, but that was the result again of occupation, of torture, of slavery. So I don't know. It's a big one, isn't it? If we pulled out completely, I think in the short term it'd be bad. I think in the long term it'd be better. They need to, you know. And if in the long term they just blow each other into fucking smithereens, then maybe that's what needs to happen sometimes. I don't know. But right now there's very little democracy in that area. There's slavery. There's astonishingly poor human rights. Patrick has said, yes, Israeli people mostly okay, but the Zionist agenda is pure evil, in my honest opinion. Agree, UK and USA hegemony is worst. Well, again, I mean, I struggle with things like pure evil. But you know, fucking hell. That whole area is just, it's fucked, innit? And it has been for a long time. Before, a long time. Way before the 20th century. I don't know. Have I got anything on for that today? No, I've not. Because why would I ever pick a story about Israel? Yeah, It's always going to get mentioned in it. Guys, I want to get on this before we go because I've not talked about Trump for ages, but he has played an absolute blinder of late. So obviously there's this whole no borders thing, the wall is immoral and all that, and I thought this was full bullshit. I thought it was fake, but it's coming up more and more now. He's doubling down on it. And just out, this is his quote: "The USA has the absolute legal right to have apprehended illegal immigrants transferred to sanctuary cities. We hereby demand that they be taken care of at the highest level, especially by the state of California." Throwing shade at the entire state of California because he knows full well he doesn't need them to get re-elected. So he's just like, fuck you. This, for me, is a blinder, an absolute blinder. Love or hate Donald Trump, this was very, very well played because they're moaning about, they're saying you can't deport them, you're sending them back to bad conditions, you're sending them back to poverty, and he's like, all right, I won't deport him, I'm just sending them to your sanctuary cities. And Mother Jones and all that and the Daily Beast, they've been kicking off going, you can't do this is disgraceful. And it's like, oh, you want... So if we're not going to deport them, where are they going to live? Fucking well done. Whilst everyone else is going on about all the other bollocks with Donald Trump, he is doubling down on this shit. And look, he's pinned the Omar tweet as well, which he fucking... Honestly, I'll be amazed. I'll be amazed if he loses. I'll be amazed. People focus on all the wrong things about Donald Trump and they don't realise how he plays. And I know some people, you know, the far lefties who you know, who think that anyone who isn't a full-blown communist is just a Nazi. They don't live in a world where they understand the reality of Donald Trump. When you say his supporters, people, there's a huge group there. There's the mad Trump heads, but then there's the people that just vote for him because fuck it, because who cares? The same people that vote for Boris. It's all fucked. They're all liars. I'm gonna vote for the dickhead that posts memes. It's the same thing about the same reason Sargon is going to be elected. They don't. I think people don't realise that, you know, people have so little faith in the system. They have so little faith in politicians, and people know that. They realise, they're like, yeah, they're all corrupt, they're all liars. But then it's like, well, why would you vote for Donald Trump? How could you vote for Donald Trump? And it's like, well, connect those two dots, mate. You have no faith in it. They're all idiots. I might as well spoil my ballot. Or fuck it, I'll vote for the arsehole. The drain the swamp guy. Oh, the one that's going to send immigrants to sanctuary cities. Yeah, fuck it. That's why they exist, isn't it? Bless him. Oh my God. Right, so guys, I've seen rhetoric on this around Trump and around everyone else, right? Where you're saying, and in fact, they had it earlier on, didn't they, with the Brexit Party? How he said, put the fear of God into politicians. Did you see that? Nigel Farage said it as in his speech. Quite obviously a figure of speech. It wasn't in any way an incitement to violence. Obviously. I don't like Nigel Farage, but I have the integrity and the honesty to say that was not an incitement to violence. Fear of God is not incitement to violence. Tusk said, send them to hell or whatever it was a few weeks ago. And the same people were all going, oh, nice one, good work. Oh, you devil. You've really showed the levers there, haven't you? You've really shown them. Remainer says something very, very similar. And everyone's like, oh, don't you remember? Joe Cox, don't you remember? Absolute bullshit. And here's a beautiful, beautiful one. The Good Fight put out this now deleted tweet. There's a photo of it here. I did check this on archive.com. This is a legitimate tweet. It is not it's not a fuck up. You can go and find it yourself. They have deleted it now. But they tweeted this, and it is literally a scene from The Good Fight, which is a show who's also putting out advertisements insisting on political violence, saying that the Overton window doesn't include you. Insanity. But look at this. Assassinate President Trump. Bomb device explosives. What the fuck is this? Eliminate Mar-a-Lago missile projectile torpedo. They put this out. This is CBS. This is a TV show. This isn't some trolley YouTube thing. This is on TV. It's fucking insane. If put the fear of God into them is incitement to violence, what the fuck is this? Unless we've got a sliding scale of what's acceptable here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually understand this in the context of the show, in the context... I wouldn't say... Well, this is borderline. This could go to court and could go either way. Do you know what I mean? For me personally, no, I think it's just on the right side, but it's right on the fucking line of incitement. I'm against incitement. I am. If I found out that they got done for this, I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't argue against it. I'd go, well, yeah, you understand the law better than me or whatever. But how come when it comes to Donald Trump? How come when it comes to people on the right, we can just laughingly put this up there? What the fuck is going on? Like, literally, what is going on in the world right now? Assassinate President Trump. You know, if Farage is bad, then what are these people? It's just pure, unadulterated evil. Trump derangement syndrome is real. It is a real thing. Happy Dog has said, edgy boys. Yeah. Richard D. Hall did an excellent expose about Joe Cox's murder and Thomas Mayer's innocence. I'll just pop that there, and yes, as I've done a Google search for that. I'll check it out once I go off a line. Fano Boss has said, what about Sargon? I said Sargon is going to win the election. He's going to get... I mean, statistically, it's very, very unlikely that he's going to lose, regardless of his rape tweet. Again, Trump won on the back of saying, grab him by the pussy. People wore T-shirts of that. In terms of Sargon, where he's running... historically, UKIP have the biggest share of the vote historically. Anyway, they're the leaders in the southwest, and they're only doing better now. The current clusterfuck that is Brexit isn't going to hurt UKIP, is it? Not in fact, quite the opposite. So yeah, Sargon has announced and he's going to win, and it's looking like Prison Planet's going to announce too. He's just done a little teasy thing about it. Hayden's put a thing out saying subscribe and touch our bell. Please touch my bell, please. Hit it, so you know every time it goes up. I'm not going to go about Israel anymore. Maybe we'll do an Israel show at some point, a specific one on Israel. I don't know. I want to talk with thingy about that anyway. War is great. It makes men and sheep frightened. It makes men and sheep frightened. Fano says, I'm anti-violence unless we can go World War III full tilt. Yeah, there's certain parts of your brain that are built for that, aren't there? There's no getting around that. That's the truth of the situation. I'm going to take that assassinate President Trump thing down because it's just fucking ridiculous. I'm just talking and it's just there next to me. We need to use our nukes before they go stale. Yeah. That's interesting one. Guys, I'm sorry again about trigger warning not TV not working. I know there's a few of you just hanging around in there still. Get on the YouTube chat. Let me know who you are. Let me know what you've been doing. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Now, I want to go on about this. I don't know if you've seen it. Again, the far left, the 10%, have been trying to ruin free speech and silence people who do not fit in with their, what is quite frankly, an extreme orthodoxy. And Camille Paglia, is their latest target. They've only had 708 signatures, but that's not the point, is it? It's all this invading her classroom and all that bollocks that they've been doing, which usually works. You know, it does. It shuts people up. And look at these fucking pricks. Hugging. Eh? Aren't they brave? Oh, ridiculous. Oh, is the stream still up? I can't see anything there. Ooh, has it gone? It's telling me it's gone here. Let's have a look. Yeah, why is it saying I've gone? I've not gone anywhere. I'm right here. I'm right here. Ooh, has it gone? It's telling me it's gone here. Yeah, I can see that I'm back. Maybe the Trump thing did it. Maybe the same arseholes that lie about me behind my back are just there going, ooh, ooh. We've not had a strike notice though, so I'm not sure what's going on. Unless Aidan, let me know if we've had any emails or anything like that. What if someone just opened it up then when that thing was next to me? No, we've not had any notifications as far as I can tell. We're back. Thank fuck for that. I don't know how much you missed, so I'll just carry on with this story as I was saying. So, Camille Paglia, she's been quite outspoken in her positions. You know, she doesn't toe the line, and I like that. She's an artist. Good for her. Now, there's been the people have been invading the classroom with all this support transgender students and survivors of sexual abuse. Isn't that a gorgeous way to frame it, eh? Isn't that? Because nobody could argue against that, could they? Stop victim blaming. Well, maybe what you're labelling victim blaming is actually something else. Fucking assholes. Apparently she's been teaching at the arts for many years. This is their own petition and has only become more controversial over time. So what? So what? What's wrong with that? She's teaching art. She's an artist. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being controversial as a teacher? In fact, I would want my tutors to be controversial. If she is victim blaming, as you've said here, then good. She can teach you about it. She can teach you that perspective. You can learn why people victim blame, can't you? You fucking tools. She believes that most transgender people are merely participating in a fashion trend. Well, there was a report done about that, wasn't there? There was a study, but it got pulled within a day because of you people. You removed information from the internet, didn't you? Hey? A study that showed that happening, didn't it? Little clusters. So here we go anyway. We won't know the truth, will we? Because we're not allowed to actually look into it. We won't know about the fact that there are some very genuinely poorly people out there who are really, really suffering with gender dysmorphia, and the only thing they can do is take on the appearance of the opposite sex in order to be comfortable and happy in life. And I know plenty of people that have done that, and big respect to them. That takes a lot of fucking balls, or to lose your balls, but it does. If that's what it takes to alleviate the things, then good on you, good for you chasing that. But people who are just labelling like slight personality traits as being trans and being demanded to be put into a victim group, because I can go fuck themselves, man. Of course there's people that do it because of a trend. That's why they're self-medicating. But anyway, whatever. If she's going to say this, blah, 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 they've done this. The reason I've got this up is because of the most important part of it. Oh, where's it gone? Here are their list of demands. Camille should be removed from UArts faculty and replaced by a queer person of colour. There we go. That's their requirement. So what about her qualifications? What about her experience? What about her history as a tutor, or his in terms of the replacement? You are specifically saying somebody should be hired because of the colour of their skin. There's a word for that, you know. There's a clear thing there, and you people are so wrapped up in your own sophist nonsense that you don't realise you're the racists. You, the people signing this, the people sitting here, you're the racists. Hiring people because of the colour of their skin, unless you're talking about an actor to play Othello or some nonsense like that, is racist. It's just... the world's gone mad. These people now, they're the Christian fundamentalists of the world, aren't they? if you decide that somebody's too white for a teaching position, then you're the problem, guys. But check this out. Check this out. The tide is turning. The pendulum is swinging. Mama Christina Hoff-Summers has shared a letter from David Yeager, and David Yeager is getting a letter back from me today over this. There's a big thing here, but the important part is I believe this resolve holds even greater importance at an art school. Artists over the centuries have suffered censorship and even persecution for the expression of their beliefs through their work. My simple answer is not now, not at UArts. David Yeager. If you go on their website, you can search him on the faculty. His email is right there. It's president at thingy. Send him an email. Tell him he's a hero. Tell him for standing up to it. Even if you don't agree with her, even if you don't agree with him, that's not the point. If you can't defend people you don't agree with, then you ain't worth shit. Happy Dog said that a film needs more blackface. And we've had a drop in viewers now. Thanks a lot, YouTube, for cutting me off like that. Patrick's saying there's a lot of truth in trans being a fashion trend. Of course there is. Of course there is. When I was at school, most women were lesbians. They all went through a lesbian phase. The thing is, we didn't pathologise it. We didn't create some big fucking hoo-ha over it, you know. It's like, come on. My issue is kids, especially underage kids, self-medicating, they're permanently damaging themselves before they even have the ability to make informed decisions. That's what scares me. And it scares me that adults are encouraging it. You know, as soon as you're an adult, oh my God, do whatever the fuck you want, man. I'll defend anyone. I defended that guy that's just got prison time for slitting people's tongues and cutting people's nipples off. Good for them. Have at it. But you start doing that shit to kids, and you start telling kids that it's okay, then no. And here's the thing, the Moulton Bailey thing. Oh, well, they don't do it to kids. They do. They do. They do. It happens. A kid in America just actually took his own father to court. 15 he was. Took his father to court because his father wouldn't consent to him taking the drugs, taking the hormones. And the kid won. And that judge is going to look back at some point, that actual precedent there, we're going to look back on that and go, oh shit, we fucked up. Well, yeah, it's already happening at that hospital we've got here, isn't it? People are quitting over it. They're saying, people are realising that this is a huge experiment. Because it is, because we don't know what it's going to do to kids. Again, there's a difference between actual gender dysphoric people that need help and then overly enthusiastic woke parents who are strapping up the kids' genitalia and giving them puberty blockers when they don't even identify as the sex they were, different to what they were born as. That happens. I've seen the evidence of it. I saw one yesterday, literally, AF, you know, assigned female at birth, AFAB. You know, he was AFAB, assigned female at birth, and he even says he's a girl. So I don't understand. It's like, so your girl who was born a girl, who says she's a girl, you've decided she's a boy. And you're giving her puberty blockers. You fucking tool. Big problems down the line for this. Big problems. And again, it's nice people trying to do the right thing, fucking it up massively. Yes, that's the key danger, Graeme, playing with youngsters' minds. Of course it is. You know, puberty isn't just when your balls drop. Your entire body changes, including your mind. Your brain doesn't finish maturing until it's about 25. That's why, you know, you don't give kids alcohol, isn't it? By the way, I have a trans kid that sleeps over separate rooms with my daughter. For perspective, good for you. Good for you. I'm not saying there aren't trans kids. I'm just saying you've got to tread very fucking carefully. And if you go on Facebook, you can join Facebook groups where woke parents are telling each other to bind their 6-year-old's testicles. There's having a genuine kid that needs it, and then there's tying a 6-year-old's dick down as they cry and bleed. That is an issue. I mean, shit, I knew him. I mean, God, maybe he's dead now. But mate, Dave was fucking blatantly trans and couldn't. I mean, he never had the balls to do anything about it. But you know, and that's probably why he's dead now. But yeah, no. Pictures are... Please don't send trigger warning or associate trigger warning with any pictures of trans kids that stay at house. I want nothing to do with any of that. Thank you. Highlighting the delusional trans people is furthering societal's education. Exactly. Not all trans people are delusional, but 70%. Well, who knows? Who knows? The problem is we can't do the research, and the problem is that there's some very vulnerable people who are being pulled into that world. Mermaids just had that still leak where it was like, you can look this up for me. I've not. Well, let's have a quick look and see what comes up. Mermaids, signs of being trans. Let's see if it comes up on images. No, the display in there isn't there, isn't it? Oh, I read this report. Nah, hugely flawed. No, I can't see it. Actually. Sorry about that. Let's check the. Oh, no, news. See, there might be someone bitching about it within the last few minutes. No, I can't see anything right now. It's funny how all these things don't get a lot of coverage, isn't it? But essentially, there's a PowerPoint presentation type thing, and there's a slide, and they list nearly every marker of poor mental health that you could possibly imagine. If anyone can drop me a tweet with it in, I'll pull it up. But nearly every single marker of poor mental health gets a mention. And they're like, this could be a sign you're trans. And it's almost like looking up symptoms on WebMD, isn't it? It's always going to tell you you've got cancer. It's fucking bullshit. Trigger warning is uploading the Camille Paglia now. This is a cool segment. Oh, fantastic. It's hype caused by schools. Most of the kids in my town think they are bi or worst. It is. It's uninformed. I mean, yeah, well-meaning people trying to do the right thing, failing, unfortunately. This is weird, Aidan. In terms of my thing, it says I've been online permanently. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the shenanigans are right now with all this stuff. But yeah, good on you, Christina. If you don't follow Christina Summers, do. She's an old school feminist and she's fucking amazing. Should we carry on or should we stop? What are you guys thinking? You want to carry on? I got loads I want to talk about, but I'll stop if you all want to go. I'm going to carry on. Fuck it. Michael Knowles. This is an interesting one. For anyone who doesn't know, he's an absolute dick that works at the Daily Wire. And he was just attacked. Somebody sprayed a bleach-like substance at him whilst he was giving a talk. I followed this on from the transgender thing because he was giving a talk on how transgender women aren't women, really, which from a biological point of view is completely true. You know, here's the problem with this argument, right? They are women, and they're not women. We've said this on the podcast loads of times. Both those things exist at once. So all this thing of going, well, actually they are, and people are actually they aren't. Biologically, they're not, and they never will be. I mean, biologically, in a sense of the brain, it's been found that the brain is wired more female, so maybe the literal thing of... You could, in a really simplistic, weird way, you could say that it's a girl's brain in a boy's body or vice versa, to really sum it down. But, you know, factually, biologically male, socially female, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but we need to we all need to just get our heads around that, don't we, and just stop this bullshit. When you've got the ACLU and, you know, for activist groups going, trans women are women, and it's like that. Well, that's false, isn't it? It's true and false. So can we just deal with this? It's like, you know, love hurts, doesn't it? Love is the greatest thing ever, but it hurts. It always hurts. Things can exist in dualities. Now, he was attacked during a speech. He was giving a talk and a load of people came in. And yeah, they sprayed a bleach-like substance. And the only reason I brought this up is because it doesn't exist. It didn't happen. There's barely anything on it. Have we got, if you live in the UK, and this is what I was talking about last week, my friend who only reads the BBC, Now, if my friend who only reads the BBC, how's he going to know about this? When someone says that far-left people are trying to shut down free speech, he might say, that's not true. I've not seen anything to do with that. And you know what? If he only reads the BBC, or even The Guardian, because they haven't put a thing in here either. If you only read the BBC and The Guardian, then you don't know, do you? You don't know the truth of it, do you? Eh? You don't know that a prominent Republican was just attacked with a bleach-like substance. I mean, let's check it out, man. Michael Knowles, BBC. See what happens. BBC, it's not even got connecting things. This is the 28th of March. It's a Ukrainian... Where is this? Where is it? This is the worrying thing. So, you know, if you do get this weird... Because I've been seeing this a lot lately. People on the sort of hyper left saying, no, nobody's trying to shut down free speech. And it's because they don't know. You know, and unfortunately, he says to them, like, it's become a meme, hasn't it? Do your research. To them, they think do your research means watch Alex Jones. You know, going, rah, rah. But no, genuinely, do your research, please. Get out your bubble. Graeme, what is your opinion on trans men cheating in real women's athletic sports and martial arts? Well, obviously, they've been cut out of the martial arts world now, haven't they? I say that I'm never going to win the Olympics. I'm never going to win a boxing match unless it's against a woman. Offer still stands, by the way. If there's any MMA ladies out there, I'll fuck you up. But no, I'm never going to do it. And if you've transed from male to female, then you're out of female sports. I mean, you're out of male and female sports. I mean, potentially male, depending on it. But in terms of female sports, no, sorry, them's the breaks. That's how it goes. The same way that if you lose a leg, you ain't running with everyone else anymore. You're off to the disabled stuff, aren't you? I'm really, really sorry, but no, you don't get to do it anymore. You must have seen that rapper guy who on his Twitter, what's he called? I shared his thing the other day. Zito or whatever it is, I can't remember, but there was that British rapper. He's fucking amazing, and he broke the women's deadlifting thing, and all he did was at the start of the video he said, "I now identify as a woman," and he did it, and he's like, there you go, he's just broke the record for women's deadlifting, just like that. Guy works out, but he's not a world champion, and that's the issue. I think when you look at the stats and you say, well, some men are only identifying in women. They haven't been through anything at all. They are literally only identifying as women, which is a joke. No, you're done. You're done. You're out. Done. That's fucking bullshit. Again, societally, if I knew that person and they identified as a woman, fine, wonderful, great. But you can't. You just go humiliate. You don't go humiliate yourself. There's not even like, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? In terms of having transitioned, I don't know. I'm still saying no, but it would obviously have to depend sport to sport. It would obviously have to depend heavily on the situations, and I can't speak on it. I'm not an expert on it, but my answer is no. You are banned until someone sits down and shows me a good reason for it. Excuse me, if you're a dude, you've got men's hips, men's bones, men's muscles, men's heart, men's lung capacity, then no, of course not. Of course fucking not. Don't be ridiculous. I had someone arguing me that. I had someone arguing with me, genuinely, hand on heart, right, saying that men's and women's tennis should be mixed. Like, not even like trans, but just straight up saying that women were excluded from it. Excluded. And I'm like, is that the lens you see the world through, mate? That women are not as strong as men, not as fast as men. They're not. That's not a bad, that's not a bad thing. Women have got other qualities that are insanely good, and like I'm not even going to go into that right now. So we're talking about sport. All the 10 best dancers on the planet are women. The top 100 dancers on the planet are women. In terms of that kind of movement, dance, always the woman. A man will never be as good a dancer as a woman. In fact, historically, I mean, they've fallen out of fashion now, but when a man could dance well, they would be put on a fucking pedestal because it was a rarity. You know, you look at the old dance, but women though, oh, and it's the same for that. This dude thought, and I'm like, mate, if Wimbledon was mixed sex, you know, 5 rounds each, 5 sets each, all the rest of it, in 1 year, in one tournament, you would remove women from tennis altogether completely. Women would be gone. That's it. First round. They wouldn't even get to the part that's on TV. Just the shitty qualifiers. Gone. Done. No more women. That's why it exists. You know, and we got to accept and understand that. That's not saying women are less or women, they're just different. Jesus Christ, you know. I mean, I can see it in my daughter. She's only 3, right? But she already sees that the boys are more aggressive and more physical. I've not told her this. She knows this. Because they're all running around with sticks. I'm not saying she doesn't run around with sticks, but there's just that average gravitation to it. There's just that temperament there for the physical and the emotional. But she's already got them. She's 3, and she's got the lads running around. There's one group I go to on a Tuesday, right? And the biggest bully that goes there is a little shit. He runs over to her with his fruit pits, and he's just giving them to her, and she ignores him. He's a little dick. She ignores him, just stood there eating his fruit because he's there. He's there. And that's what women can do, even when they're 3. So there's, you know, there's a thing here, and yeah, I don't know. Women have an understanding of social so much more than us. I mean, I just recorded a video with Hayden, a very, very angry video, and I showed it to my girl. I promised I'd show it to her beforehand, and she instantly pointed out that there's no way I can publish that video, because if I'm being accused of being an angry extremist, publishing a video where I'm saying "you fucking coward" every 30 seconds, shouting "you fucking coward" every 30 seconds, probably, there you go, woman's perspective. Hayden understands the internet. He fucking Mr. Lively went, yeah, that seems right to me. And then I got home and watched it. I texted him and went, stand by every word, mate. And then she watches it and points out the blindingly obvious. Do you know what? I'm not going to talk about this Roger Scruton thing. I'm going to talk about it on Tuesday, I reckon. I've not got the thing for it now. If anyone doesn't know, though, check out Douglas Murray's Twitter. It's been hilarious. But yeah, fucking look at this prick, absolute prick. Completely misquoted this guy, made him sound racist when what he was actually doing was criticising communism. But no, there's no effort by the far left to silence people, is there? But this guy's out of a job now, so you know that's how it goes, isn't it? But there's nothing going on here, nothing to see, everything's fine. Look at this prick. Look at this absolute prick. Fuck you. Misquoting people. Oh, God. George Eaton is still in a job. Roger Scruton is out of a job. A man that was going to be working on not only building us houses, something we desperately need, but his remit was houses that people actually want to live in. So, there we go. Bless the little faces. Fuck you, mermaids. You child abusing motherfuckers. Guys, last chance to get a comment in. Tweet me at Graeme Boove or whatever if you want. I just thought, actually, I covered up my Graeme Boove because somebody told me off, but I could have done that, couldn't I? Yeah, I could have done that. You live and learn, don't you? There's my Twitters. Could have done that. Silly daddy. Silly daddy G. Never mind. Like I said, you live and learn, don't you, eh? You live and learn. Guys, thanks a lot for joining us. Like I said, last chance to get in touch if you'd like anything read out. If you go on triggerwarning.tv, if you want to search us anywhere, by the way, don't search Trigger Warning for obvious reasons, especially now that fella on Netflix has just brought a show out with it. Search Trigger Warning TV and we'll be all over your feed. If you go on triggerwarningtv.itself, our weekly podcast is right there. We usually put out 2 episodes a week. This week we put out 1 episode, but it is the length of of a movie. So it's double bumper. That's the way it goes sometimes. We get chatting, we keep going, we don't stop. If you'd like to check out our latest YouTube, that's right here for you. If you want to go on triggerwarning.tv, there's our Patreon, and you can donate as well via Patreon. That donate button is not the same as our Patreon. Look, that is just a straight up donate. I've just clicked on it now. There's also articles, links to people. There we go. You can just send a thing there. You can do it as a monthly one. You can do it as a one-off, whatever you want. I'm so glad I'm not logged in, because that would have just shown all my private information for one of my many, many PayPals for all my pimping. But yeah, check out these links as well. These are not paid links. These are just people that we like, and of course you can sign up, and usually that means that we are on our live chat and you can come and say hello. I'm sorry about this week, it hasn't been working. There was some sort of problem with the embed there. Usually we'd be there, so when we go live on a Tuesday we're here, when we go live on a Thursday we're here as well, and when we go live on a Sunday as today, we are also here as well. I'm assuming that it's because they've, like, let's not put our tinfoil hats on right now. I'm assuming that it's because YouTube has changed the interface, the studio. So we set this up with the old interface, so that might be it. I'm using the new one to stream right now, so that could be it. I don't know. But yeah, guys, join us Tuesday live. We'll be in this chat room. Join us Thursday for Hayden's big show, and join us next Sunday for this if you'd like to. Take care, Chappie. Take care, Fano. Thanks a lot for joining us, Mr. C1. Prime example of women's superiority in dance. Yeah, it's a good example, isn't it? My partner came up with it as well. I didn't think about that. She just, but again, women are amazing, but different. Different isn't saying less or more. They're different. Patrick said, good chatting with you. Join us next week. Talk about anything you want. No judgment, no thingies. I don't give a fuck. You can be a communist or a Nazi or whatever. I don't give a shit, man. Come and say hello. Come and let me know what's going on. And, you know, we'll do it. The only reason Oscar didn't get a house arrest sentence was there nowhere to put his... Don't forget Oscar Pistorius and his spatula legs. Yeah. Bob Stewart said, cheers, Graham. Hiya, Bob. I've not seen you online as much recently. It's good to see you. I hope you are okay. Guys, I will chat to you Tuesday. Big love. I don't know how to turn it off now. Subscribe, share, all the rest of it. I love you. Bye.